Hello and welcome back to Mystic Tides Tarot. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I did in the previous two videos. I wanted to try a pick a card without getting into an extremely lengthy video, so I did two cards instead of like 3 or 5. So the first card pulled was the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands is about starting a new passion project or starting a new creative endeavor that maybe you've been wanting to do for quite some time. There's a lot of energy behind this, and maybe you're feeling the push and the call. Whether it feels that somebody supports you in it or not does not matter. Whether it feels aligned with your job or career does not matter, but this is something that really pulls at you and that you feel that if you don't do before you die, it's a bucket list thing, right? Like if you don't do it before you die, then you will not have truly lived. You will not have truly lived your life, right? So that's what this pile is about. The second one is the Queen of Wands, and I don't think it's a coincidence we pulled wand cards. There's a lot of fire in this reading in general, so maybe you feel called to listening to all of the messages, which you're totally free to do. But the Queen of Wands, this is the representation of the way that you think you should be walking this earth at this moment, and maybe you haven't fully felt that pull as much, but sorry, I'm getting another message. This can also be someone's spirit guide, ancestral spirit guide. That has been coming through a lot for this channel if you've been watching the previous readings. So this can actually be somebody's spirit guide that is coming through that wants to communicate with you. You can take that as an ancestor. You can take that as a god, goddess, or a specific type of energy, whatever it is that you feel most called to work with. But it has this energetic signature, which is that passion, that fiery type of, it can be seen as protective energy. And I'm not saying it's not, but it's also this is someone who knows how to talk to people. This is someone who is charismatic. This is the popular person. This is someone who got voted to be prom queen. In the spiritual realm, though, this isn't because they were the prettiest, you know? If they're pretty, it's because their energy is pretty. It's not because they're physically beautiful, because they're not physical, right? Like they are spiritual in nature. So this could be, if you're feeling called to this pile, this could be that you're feeling like maybe you've been seeing some signs, some synchronicities with a message from an ancestor, a spirit guide, a god or goddess that may have an energetic signature that is very fiery, that is very charismatic, that is probably another reason why you're feeling called to them, or that they're calling you in the first place, is because they are charismatic. Like, hello, why are they coming up? But this can also be an energy that you're trying to harness and embody, and that's why you're being called to this pile, or also why you're being called to that energetic signature of that potential spirit guide or deity, because that is something you are trying to embody. And who best to learn it from than that specific energy signature, right? So here are your two piles. I want to get started because, you know, the clock's ticking here. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so for pile 1, we have the Ace of Wands. And like I mentioned before, this is about a passion of yours that maybe you have been trying to get off the ground either recently or even in the last 5 to 10 years. Whoa, yeah, it's about time. It's about time. The cards are excited. It's about time. My hands are excited. There's a lot of excitement in the air right now. It's making me feel like if I've had way too much caffeine, and trust me, I have not. So this is something that's been a long time coming, and you're finally ready to take time and make space for this in your life. But maybe there's a little too much excitement to the point, whoa, see what I'm saying? To the point where you don't even know where to start, how to start it, what to say, how to plan, how to even write it in your planner. Like there's a lot of stuff going on here. Like, wow. Can't even. It's a lot of energy to contain here. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful. What did I say? It's the start. the start of something, right? We have a confirmation here with another one of the aces. This is the Ace of Cups. We have the World card, and then we have the Fool card. So we have nothing but aces and major arcana so far, which means this is a strong and powerful message, which I was feeling as I was shuffling the deck. The World card, or in some cases the Universe card, this is the last card in the major arcana. And this is the completion, the culmination. This can signify two different things. This can signify you are at the end of a previous journey, which is allowing you to now finally pursue this with the Ace of Wands. Sorry. Oh my gosh, this energy is so strong. Or it could also be, and actually it could be both of these things. This is the one thing that you've been waiting to do. This is going to bring you to the ending of an era to embark on a new one. It's almost like saying maybe starting this is going to allow you to finish another thing. So either you're finishing one thing, which is why you have room for this, or this is going to harness the power that you need, the energy that you need, the idea, the epiphanies that you need to be able to end a specific cycle that you've been needing to end and didn't really quite know how, or didn't even know that you needed to end it, right? And then with the Fool card, it's like literally one after the other, right? We have the ending, the major arcana ending card. It's the end. We finished. We completed the massive project. We finished the entire like cycle of this one major life lesson, or we completely finished this generational traumatic cycle, or we cut the ties with this specific type of era, or we're completely done with these people and no longer will they be siphoning, you know, our force, hence not allowing us to pursue our passions perhaps. But what happens after there's an ending? There is a start, right? And it's funny because literally all these cards, beginning, ending, like there's some major stuff going on with this pile. Right here we have the Fool card. The Fool card is this invitation to start, but not just start. In many cases, for all of you that are in this like pile, it's starting again, but it's not starting from scratch. You have experience, you have knowledge, and even if it may not be in that passion or in that sector of that passion, that's okay, because what you have lived up until this point will always benefit you. It will always serve you to be able to bring forth what you want to bring forth with this passion. Don't ever feel that you are starting from scratch, because that is never the case with you. Never the case with you. So please hold on to that and sit with that. Whew. This energy is so strong, but it also makes me emotional because it's almost like you struggled so hard. You struggled so hard to really understand how beautiful and how powerful. I'm sorry. Okay, it has taken a lot for you to understand how truly powerful you are. And no matter what anybody told you, it would not click until recently. And this is why, maybe that's what you are ending. And this is why you are now able to do the true calling, the true passion. You can follow your passions. Oh my gosh. And I think the reason that I'm also struggling with wording this is because it's close to home for me, but also because when we're starting, we feel sometimes rather foolish, right? We feel rather foolish. We feel inexperienced. And we feel that when it is time to prove to the world that we are good and we've always been good enough, we feel that we are going to stumble on our words, and we might not only feel foolish, but feel like we are making a fool of ourselves for even trying, especially at the age that we're at. And it doesn't matter how old you are, because no matter where you're at, you're always going to feel like you're probably a little too old to be doing finally that thing. And that's so like, that's trash. I don't want you to ever feel that way, because it's never too late. Because even if you think about it in terms of time, of age, if someone who is 20 is going to die at the age of 30, but thinks that they're too old to do what they loved at 28, then they only have 2 years to do what they love. And that is going to also be the same if you're 60 with an expiration date at 70, right? So yes, you are going to have different advantages. There are going to be different benefits to starting things, pursuing different passions at a different age. But don't waste your limited time on this physical plane thinking about those things, because it is a waste. It is time that you could have been giving to this passion. It is time that you could have been given or giving to the joy that you're going to feel once you embark on this. And oh my gosh, this has been feeling like such a hot mess reading, but I don't care. I'm going to upload it because I told myself that that's what I'm going to do. Okay, let's just finish this piles reading with the Ace of Cups now. The Ace of Cups. How beautiful. Because once you finally embrace taking that leap of faith, but not faith in that it's going to work as much as faith in your ability to make it work, because you will finally be doing what you've been wanting to do all along. Once you embrace that, the floodgates open. The abundance that you are going to feel, the emotions that are going to course through your body are some of the most beautiful ones that you've ever experienced in your entire life. And I hope that that's enough motivation to get you moving on whatever this passion project or passion idea or passion new way of living or passion career is. I hope that it gets you moving. Because even if it is just taking out your journal to reflect on what that even could be, because you have no fucking clue what it could be. Because sometimes we are that blocked. That's still a step. So please take that step. And thank you. Thank you for being here and witnessing these this energy that I was channeling. Thank you for watching this video. If you are new here, please comment and let me know how you think this resonates with you or how it fits your situation. And if it doesn't, don't force it. It's okay. Maybe there will be another one another day. Bye. Okay, I think we're nice and shuffled. And then she proceeds to shuffle more. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands. If you picked the Queen of Wands as your pile, this message is for you. Now, like I said before, the Queen of Wands was giving me just fire energy. Obviously, wow, okay. Was giving me obviously fire energy because hello, duh. But we were looking at this in terms of perhaps an ancestor and or guide and or deity and or energy that you're trying to embody. So either you're seeking to have a guide in this type of energy that you want to embody, and or you have been feeling synchronicities that are calling you to work with a guide that embodies this type of energy. And synchronicities could be you've seen the Queen of Wands quite a few times. Maybe you were even here on this channel watching the reading that I posted. I don't remember if it was last reading or the first reading that I did that also talked about a guide and the Queen of Wands. So whoever's been watching my videos, that is for you. That message is for you. You might want to go watch that video as well. Like I said, I don't remember if it was the first or second video. But yeah, so let's see what she has to tell us. We have the Knight of Wands. Wait, this is not the Knight. This is the Page. Let me actually move this up because I don't think... Yeah, you can. Okay. So we have the Page... And I said Wands? Wow. The Page of Swords. The Emperor. And the Fool. Now, if you watch the first pile, you know that we pulled the Fool card. So if you're watching both piles, it could be that this is a confirmation that If you watched the first one, you were supposed to watch the second pile. If you're on the second pile and you have not seen the first pile, you don't necessarily have to go and watch the first one if you don't want to. Just putting that out there. Okay, this energy is much different than the last pile's energy. This energy is a lot calmer. And it doesn't feel as... I don't want to use... For lack of better words, it's not as accelerated. Maybe that's not a good term to use, but whatever. Let's proceed. So the Page of Swords. It's possible that you have started going to school recently, like maybe college. And I do know that obviously like school did start recently, so that's like a very like obvious thing, but this is specifically catered to somebody who has a relationship with college, education post high school, is maybe even contemplating that journey, because the page is at the beginning of this journey. And then the swords having to do with intellect, mental clarity. And maybe this is also why this energy is a little bit calmer. This is someone who has been thinking about either starting school again, starting to learn something again, or starting to learn something new and for the first time, or somebody who just started going to school, started college, university, if you will. We have the Emperor, so this is someone with serious energy. And then we have the Fool, once again, new beginning of a new journey, beginning, serious, swords, intellect, thought. This might be someone who sees themselves to have a more logical type of mind, which makes sense if you're trying to maybe balance yourself out a little bit, because the Queen of Wands is someone who she's the belle of the ball, and she's not illogical, but she's not going to let logic get in the way of her getting what she wants and pursuing her dreams, being that badass, basically. It could also be like this boss bitch energy. She could be an entrepreneur. And I say she just because it says queen, but this could be for anyone of any gender. So if you are the person who's trying to embody more of this energy because you are starting something new and you're requiring education, or you think you're requiring education, or you just started education, whether it's with something in that education you started or not, doesn't matter. You're being very serious about it. You're being very logical about it. And yes, you will benefit from structure, but don't let structure get in the way and block you. There's a danger there. That's why we see the Fool card too, because the Fool card is kind of reminding us to look at things with the Fool's like excitement. He's so excited about going on this new journey. Yeah, look at that excited face. Look at it. He's so excited about embarking on this journey that he's not really thinking too much about all of the possible ways it could go wrong. And that's okay in this instance, because you're already thinking enough. You're already structured enough. You're already thinking. You're already made a plan. And now you're trying to kind of balance yourself out. Maybe you're feeling like you're going too much in one direction compared to another. And that's okay. But with the Queen of Wands here, either this being the energy you need more of, you're going to try to embody, or that you feel called to spiritually by a deity or a guide. I completely just lost my thread. This energy, this entire video, this entire reading has just been very interesting. But no, I'm not going to start it over, because somebody needs to hear this. I would say to take time to look around you. Don't get lost in your thoughts and trying to structure things to get the best result possible. You can only go so far with thinking. Thinking will never get the job done. Thinking is only a precursor to the work. It is not the work. And a lot of the times, in order to be able to do the work, yes, we need to be structured, but we need to allow room for play and for some type of fire. Because structure will not make sure that you make it to the finish line. Your energy that you carry will. Whether that's energy that is all your own excitement for this journey, but letting that joy come in and not just trying to live and make this happen off of structure and thought alone. Or whether it's the energy that comes from a connection with spirit, with the divine, whether that's ancestral, whether that's energetic, archetypal, whether it's through synchronicities. Like maybe for you, you've been seeing a lot of fire emojis and you typically don't see fire emojis. Every time you see a fire emoji, just sit with it, take a deep breath. And maybe that sounded so stupid. But that's what I was called to say. I don't know if anybody's seeing a flood of fire emojis out of nowhere all of a sudden, but something about being in that foolish energy where even something as silly as a fire emoji gets brought up as a synchronicity in something spiritual is what you needed to hear. I don't know. I don't know. That was such a weird thing to say. But yes, I see this pile as someone who is either already or on the verge of taking things a little too seriously, a little too heady, a little too thinky. Wow. And if you're that person, you're probably like, why am I listening to this person? She doesn't know what the hell she's talking about. But I actually have a lot of experience being that person and getting stuck there or not experiencing joy in the things that I claim are going to bring me joy because I'm taking them way too seriously. And you can take something seriously and still enjoy it. It doesn't mean don't take it seriously. This is not black or white thinking, which is very ironic because this is a black and white deck. Oh, I can. This is just silly. I feel like the Fool is infusing me right now. And maybe that's what you needed. Maybe you needed something that wasn't so serious. Maybe you needed something that wasn't so like, you need to, like, maybe you're somebody who already does that so much to yourself. You're someone who is so serious and logical because life is serious and only people that are logical make it in life. Maybe that's something that you were raised with, and that's okay. And that way of thinking has its merit in certain times and places, in certain circumstances, but it is not something that you need to get absorbed by because it will consume you in a way that is going to take away from your quality of life. And we only have one life to live. And maybe your trait is to be like, yeah, but I have a goal. So how am I going to meet that goal if I don't take it serious enough? And I promise you that you can meet your goal without having to take it so serious. You may have to ask for help. And maybe that's where this comes in. And if you're someone who's already seeking this, then don't lose faith or hope. This energy is there for you when you need it. If you happen to be somebody who is unsure of how to connect safely, intention and belief will take you far. Whenever you're trying to reach out to some energy, some deity or spiritual guide or ancestor to help you, just say with your intention that you only want what's going to help you for your greatest and highest good to come through, to give you messages, signs, synchronicities, and then start having a conversation from the heart, and you will be okay. But I think that's all I have for you today, Pile 2. I hope that you enjoyed the reading. And if you are here from pile 1, wow, what a difference, right? Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around. And if you returned, if you're subscribed, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Until next time, goodbye.